stressed out, watching both these hands around the clock. My eyes wide, trying to get the painter in my shot. Whole world getting blurry to me, answers getting lost. So I watch my back and keep it moving to the front. And remember that the world's yours, do it how you want. You've been waiting here for too long, think it's time for you to move on. Realize that this real life means real times we strong.
Waiting all my life, and it was right before my eyes. Watching all this time slip by, now I realize. You know I've been waiting, 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 you know I've been wait for me.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Your boy Master Chief Destroyer here. I'm just doing a quick, r/entitled parents reaction before I go to the walk-in today due to this really bad cough that I have. So forgive me if you hear coughing. I've probably taken 3 cough drops right now, so this is called Nice Dog and How Much. And this says, currently my wife is transitioning from social worker to dog trainer in the hopes of training an assistant/companion animals for people with the need. As someone who suffers from anxiety herself, she knows how good a trained assistance dog can be in stressful situations. This story takes place at an off-leash dog beach close to where we live. Hang on, guys, I gotta go take care of something. Sorry about that, guys. I had to take care of some stuff. Now, so where was I? Oh yeah, this is the story. This story takes place at an off-leash dog beach close to where we live. My DW has just finished work, and he has decided to take our dog, Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. Oh, that's cute. To the local off-leash beach for an impromptu training session / playtime. On arrival, she moves to a relatively quiet section of the beach and starts running the dog through some drops, stays, and recalls, and other things that are good to reinforce in high distraction environment. With lots of other off-leash dogs and people around. After maybe 10 minutes, she releases the pup to have a run and play with the other dogs and sits down on the beach to watch him play. Occasionally recalling him to reinforce the behavior before letting him explore and play again. As she is sitting there watching, she is approached by a father who is with a couple of kids, which isn't odd for this particular off-leash area, as it isn't too far from the main beach. The convo goes as follows. Entitled father for an EF for entitled father, W for wife, obviously. That's an amazingly well-trained dog you have there. Thanks, I'm actually a dog trainer, but it helps that he loves to learn. I'm not usually a fan of smaller dogs, but that one seems pretty smart. Yeah, well, it's taken a while to get in there, but he is doing great. They both watch him play for a minute or so and make more small talk, my wife still recalling him every so often. How is he with kids? Oh, he loves them. He loves any attention. But he really loves playing with children. Now it's watching his kids play with the dog. How much would you want for him? Some days laughs thinking he's just joking. Some days I'd rehome him for free, but seriously, I couldn't live without him. No, but seriously, how much? I've never seen a small dog like that as much as him. We laughs again, never said this time. Honestly, I could never part with him. You're a dog trainer, though. You could always train yourself another dog. Starting to get worried now. Or you could get a dog and bring him along to our training centers, and we could help you train him. But I really like your dog, and I don't generally like small dogs. And he is already trained, so come on. Don't be unreasonable. How much for him? I can get you cash within the hour. Getting up as she's feeling uncomfortable. He is not for sale. Please stop asking. Come on, please. Look at how much my kids like him. Gesturing to his kids playing with the pack of assorted dogs, including ours. I'll pay you. I'll give you more than he is worth. For the last time, no, I'm not selling you my dog. Now please leave me alone. She starts to move towards the car park and calls the dog to put him on a leash so she can leave. As the dog runs up, the EF tries to grab him by the collar, misses spectacularly, and gets a face full of sand. Wife gets him back on his leash and gets to the car park before having a small panic attack standing at the back of her car. A couple of other regulars see her and calm her down, and she tells them the story, but the entitled father and his kids have gone. We go back a few days later together, and there is a printed notice on the beach and asking people to be vigilant as a man was sighted trying to take people's dogs. Okay, so it's people like this that piss me off. Because I remember one time I was taking my dog, Honey, when she was around on a walk, and I brought her over to a local park, just so she could, stretch her legs, lay down and relax. This guy, I don't know, late 30s, late 20s, early 30s, give or take, starts asking me questions about my dog, and I'm like, where's this going? And he asked me, well, how much did you want for her? Over my dead body am I giving you my dog? Meanwhile, Honey sees this and is growling at him. And he thinks, oh, well, she's just being stubborn. Lo and behold, when Honey was around, you only got one warning. You didn't heed that warning, you got bit. And, well, he didn't... Oh. What the heck happened there? I don't know. But, anyways, he got bit. Told me that he'd come put my dog down. There was a police car there. And I waved him down, telling him how this man threatened to kill my dog if I didn't sell it to him. And, well, let's just say that guy was, arrested on site. Let's see. What other stories do we got? Oh, no. Yeah, sorry guys, like I said. EM steals sick kid's toy and karma bites her and her poor kid. He ends in cuffs. Oh, shite. I was pretty young when somehow after a dentist appointment I had gotten something messing with my lungs. I'm pretty sure it was bronchitis. Ugh, that's the worst. Since I was very young and having quite severe case of bronchitis with wheezing, I had to be placed in ER care. I remember being held down while this doctor injected this shot into me. I was in tears and completely terrified, and the nurse gave me a unicorn plushie for being so brave. I don't know how, because I was screaming and fighting the entire time, but okay. I wasn't there for this, but when I asked my parents why I was put in the hospital this time, they told me the story. When I was placed in a room for waiting patients, the room was divided by a curtain, me and my family on one side, our entitled mom and kid on the other. Nonetheless, endless coughing from both sides of the room. My parents met with the eyes of the entitled mom. After I got the shot and my plushie, I was transferred out of the room. My parents went back to the holding room to get their things with my plushie so I didn't lose it. The clash with the entitled mom and my mom and dad. Hey, that's a cute plushie. Where'd you get it? Oh, after my daughter had a big shot, nurse gave it to her. Oh, so when will they give my daughter one? Probably when your kid gets treatment. Oh, no fair. How come I have to wait for treatment when your daughter gets treatment right away? It was only one shot. What is your daughter in for? She has been coughing, having a runny nose, having headaches, and is tired. My mom and dad look at each other with pure confusion. This woman must have gotten her Google Maps location wrong because this was an ER unit, not primary care. Ugh. God, hang on. I gotta get a cough drop here. That sounds like she had the cold. Why didn't you take her to a normal doctor? Because primary care doctors take too long. Besides, my precious daughter is suffering. My parents are in disbelief at how entitled and stupid this parent was. So was ours. Dentist appointment turned into a hospital appointment. Too bad. I'm already a single mother and have a poor baby girl to take care of. Your daughter probably just has a couple of sniffles. She was coughing and wheezing suspiciously after a dentist appointment. It could have been an allergic reaction. Look, the nurses can give you a new one. My little angel needs it more. At this point, my parents started to leave. My mom stuffed the toy in her purse, and they both left. Unfortunately, the plushie must have fell out because an hour or less later, they found no plushie in the bag. My dad knew immediately who the suspect was. He told one of the nurses, and he came back after a couple hours with my plushie, wet and /moist with disinfectant. Nurse tells us the entitled mom. So I had bronchitis, which is contagious. Plushie was given to EM's kid, and then the kid had more symptoms and now was terribly sick, and at least EM now had a reasonable excuse to be at the hospital. EM didn't really catch bronchitis from the plushie, but stupidly cuddles, hugs, and comforts her kid while the kid was sick. She also got bronchitis, and whatever the kid had, she had to wear a mask and frequently wash her hands so she didn't get any more people sick. On top of that, when she was confronted about the plushie, she denied the claims, then says, well, you can't have the plushie now. My daughter is sick. The doctor then said, at least you aren't wasting our time anymore since other parent or other OP has bronchitis and now you do too. I still enjoyed my plushie. I got a couple of hope you get better soon cards while I was there. When we were at the lobby signing out or whatever you do to have a release, we saw the entitled mom. The entitled mom was wearing a mask and was waiting for something. A kid who probably had chemo because their head was bald, had trouble staying awake, and had a mask, blah, blah, blah. EM sees a penguin plushie in the kid's hands. She goes up to this poor kid and snatches the plushie from her kid. Sad part was, the kid looked really upset but too sick and tired to put up a fight. The nurses assisting the girl snatched back the plushie, and the EM was pissed. She had the audacity to take her mask off and cough all over the kid's face. The nurse flipped out, calling security and them coming immediately, containing the entitled mom. Poor kid was rushed over to an emergency unit, probably to check if she had gotten bronchitis. My aunt told me the rest of the karma part because I was going home from the hospital. Aunt says cops showed up and cuffed the entitled mom. The most likely arrested her for endangering little minors. At least the hospital had finally gotten a break from that psychotic entitled mom. Strange. Also, people like this, I can't believe they're in this world, like, honestly. Oh, let's read this one here. Entitled kid doesn't do his work, tries to steal my project. Oh, that's karma. And a little background story. This was in 4th class. I was, I think, 9 years old. Sub to PewDiePie. Oh, God. Since I got to school a year early, I had a kid in my class who was really bad at school, but he somehow always made it through the year, probably almost due to his parents. They were the kind of parents who would do anything to make their kid get to the next grade. So in around November, our German teacher, side note, I'm from Germany, gave us a project since we were talking a lot about world problems like, climate change, okay, etc. We were supposed to build a sculpture out of daily products we used, somehow showing a worldwide problem, no further instructions given. Pretty high expectations for 4th graders, but our teacher said we could get a little help from our parents. This grade was pretty important since we would get a special report in February that decides whether you can go to gymnasium or not. That's odd. Little explanation. In Germany, we go to elementary school 4 years, and then we got either to gymnasium 8 years or to lower school for 6 or 5 years. That should be the other way around, 5 or 6 years. Sorry. My mom gave me the idea. I think the R is just a typo. To build a huge dying fish out of trash that you might find in the ocean. Honestly, that's pretty accurate. I really liked the idea and started building it. Of course, with some help from my parents, and in the end, I had a really cool looking fish, who I was really proud of. The day before we had to show it to our teacher, we only worked at home on it. My parents and I brought it to school and wanted to put it in the classroom. Unluckily, the classroom was closed, so we had to ask a nice teacher, who I will refer to as NT, to open the classroom for a second what he did. The next day, I missed my bus and got late to school while the kids were already presenting the projects. My mom also wanted to come, but they had an appointment in the morning, so she wasn't there. You know the set. Entitled kid, entitled mother. T is my teacher. NT is a nice teacher who opened the classroom the day before. Me, a pink, fluffy unicorn. Oh my god. Really? So when I entered the classroom, I immediately got a shock. EK was standing in the front presenting my project. This was like 5 years ago, but the following conversation somehow went like this. What are you doing? Me, what are you doing? Sit down and listen. This is my project he's presenting. Is this true? Standing behind the EK staring at me. No, of course not. This kid just hasn't done his work and now wants to steal my little angel's work. I was panicking at this point because I didn't know what to do. Can you prove this is yours? I stupid as I am, I didn't write my name on it, but when I suddenly got an idea, yes, ask NT. He saw me bring it in here yesterday. Entitled mom and entitled kid were working really scared at this point. T sent 2 students to go to the teacher's room to look for NT. After a few minutes, they returned with him. Teacher asked him, did this project belong to this student? Yeah, sure, I saw him yesterday bringing it in. At this point, entitled mom started screaming, my child deserves this project. This is not his fault. He forgot to do his work. Just give him your stupid fish. My child needs this grade. So does me. And I will have to ask to stop swearing in front of the students. My student deserves it more than this little... Oh. Wow. That's messed up. I expect you to give him a good grade. Why would I be giving your son a good grade for stealing the other students' work? I will ask you to leave now. EK, you stay here. I will talk to the principal about this. Surprisingly, entitled mother left, together with the nice teacher, but not without shouting at me as I was having a little breakdown. Remember, I was 9. But the teacher was really nice and said I don't have to present it and gave me a 1, which is an A in the US. Okay, that makes sense. At the next day, me and EK were called into the principal's office. A short talk, the principal told us that he would suspend EK from school for 3 days, and the entitled kid would receive a 6 and an F in the US for that project. EK started screaming and tried to hit the principal. He didn't succeed. After a few seconds, he realized that he was effed. Oh, God. The principal gave him a death stare and said loudly, that's it, EK. Stealing other students' work and attacking the principal, you will be expelled. Oh! EK started crying, but the principal didn't care. I wish I could write what exactly happened to him and his mother, but I never heard of him again. Wow. That's messed up. Try to hit a principal? You're dumb. Yeah, one sec, guys. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Oh no. Dad wants my car space. No need for extended backstory. Never seen the guy before. Hopefully never see him again. On to the story. It's been hot as crap in my neck of the woods recently, and everyone has been waiting for the rain to break the heat and humidity. Weather forecast finally came through, with storms and heavy rainfall predicted for Friday afternoon and pretty much all weekend. My wife was not feeling well on Friday, so I said to her to stay home and rest, and I'd do school runs to pick up stepson. I took her car down because it was already outside and mine was in the garage. Important later. Stepson goes to quite a small country school with a small car park to match. They finish school about 3 p.m., but if you're not there by about 2:15, they have to you have to park around the corner and up the road. I'm well aware of this and was parked quite happily at about 12 or 2:10. Bleh. Playing on my phone, just wasting time. About 2:30 I realize the clouds are getting dark and it looks like a nasty storm is really rolling in fast. Now, because I'm in my wife's car, I didn't realize the headlights had turned on when it started getting dark. It's about 2:45 by this point and the rain has just started. Those big heavy drops that you know that are just the beginning to a serious downpour. That is so true. At 2:55, Entitled Dad makes his appearance. I always just reverse into car parks just to make it easier to leave. So Entitled Dad is driving past and makes the "Are you leaving" sign. I realize my headlights are on. I think to myself, honest mistake. Turn lights off and shake my head no. But this point is the rain is really coming down and kids are running from school and trying to get into cars, etc. etc. Normal rainy day chaos. Oh god, that's funny. So Entitled Dad decides at this point, instead of driving off and getting out of the car park, decides appropriate response is to put his window down and scream abuse at me. That is little huh? How do you even say that word? I don't know. Would have to walk in the deluge, so would he. I didn't help much at this point by laughing and telling him to get effed. Oh. This is about the time the stepson came running out and jumped into the car. Entitled Dad looked happy at this point because presumably I was leaving. Wrong. Turns out the stepson forgot to pick up his phone from the office and jumped out to go grab it. I could actually have driven to the school gate directly in front of the office to wait for someone, but decided not to. Instead, I stayed put and laughed as the Entitled Dad drove further down and came back to the main gate. Looked like a drowned rat. Oh my god. Was icing on the cake that just as he got back, stepson came running back with his phone, and I had the pleasure of seeing sheer look of aggravation on the Entitled Dad's face as I left. That is so justice. Oh, that's great. But we already got tickets. This is not the most I don't even know how to say that word either. Entitled parent story, but I still remember it many years later, so here it is. I think it fits entitled because of the astonished reaction of the parents at the bottom. I was a struggling art student to go to college and still living with my parents. Out of the blue, the new neighbors next door asked me to babysit at the last minute. I had some sort of art deadline I was working on and told them that they assured me that I could still get my art project done because their kid was super easy to care for. So I reluctantly agreed. Kid was sweet, no problem. But right in the middle of the evening, parents come stomping home separately, obviously having some sort of marital difficulty. I don't remember what was all said and done. It wasn't too violent or screamy or anything. But it was very awkward and uncomfortable. They curtly told me to, quote-unquote, stay as they went through their drama. Coming in and out of the house, I didn't know what I was supposed to do. In the midst of all this weird drama, I just wanted to go back home so bad. And the thing that pissed me off the most was that I didn't have a moment to work on the project, quote-unquote, they had promised I would have time to do. They paid me, but I was still screwed out of all that time. I lost. That was that, and they didn't ask me to babysit again. I wasn't really in the habit to babysit in the neighborhood anyway. Then, many months later, on the night of some huge event in the arena, I think, attending an Oscar award gala or something, the neighbors come over and ask me to babysit again because they're going to the gala. That night, last minute, right then and again, I have some deadline that I'm working on hard to meet. I can see the way this is going to, and I'm not going to be fooled twice. I firmly declined in polite, quiet words, but the mom was dumbfounded. She kept on spouting, but we have tickets, like that, and that was suddenly my problem. I had to keep telling her no. She didn't seem to understand that my concern over Meeting my own deadline was more important to me than having her tickets to some event. She didn't comprehend that I didn't believe her when she assured me that I could still work on my project while babysitting. I kept on saying no until she went away. They never asked me to babysit after that, much to my relief. Edit. I have remembered a few more things that will flesh out... What? Lol. The big deadline was for an upcoming art show that was an important opportunity for me. I had been really counting on that particular weekend to get a lot done. When the entitled mom came over asking me to babysit, I was oh hell no, lady, not tonight. Coupled with the fact that they were so weird and uncomfortable the first time I babysat, I was adamant. After I told her no a few times, I remember walking away from the door. She was standing on the porch and she's still yelling at me after me. But it's this huge big event. She just couldn't believe it. I was a wimp and ordinarily would have felt more guilty and had been anyone else asking, but with her, after the last babysitting experience, oh hell no. Their neighbors asked me to babysit last minute when I have a big deadline, promising that I can still do my project while babysitting. They are full of drama and I get none of the work done on my deadline. Then, the night of some big event, they asked me to babysit. Again, last minute. I have another deadline, so I refuse. Entitled mom can't believe it. Believe I'd refuse. Their tickets to the big event should be more important than my deadline. Added a word. That's so dumb. Like, honestly, that's so dumb. Oh, this ought to be good. Entitled mom thinks I should sell her my service dog for not letting her daughter distract her. Okay, a little bit of backstory. I am almost completely deaf, but I have a pair of hearing aids so I can basically hear quiet whispers. I also have a service dog called Piper. Aww. She's a big black lab that I was matched with because I'm very active. Anyway, rules are when a service dog is wearing their vest, you cannot distract them with petting and such. EM is entitled mother. K is her kid. The kid is young and just curious, so I wouldn't call her entitled. Me, I'm a 16-year-old dude. Wow. Just wow. So, I was in the park just after my morning run and I was walking with Piper home. It was a Saturday morning, so I was in no rush to be anywhere. I'm holding onto Piper's harness when she stops and faces towards something. That means that there's something or someone that needs my attention. When I look around, a woman and her kid are walking up to me, and the woman doesn't look very happy. The entitled mom looks at me and Piper and the kind of thrusts her kid towards me. Now, this girl looks really shy and comes up to me with a scared expression on her face, which is actually quite cute. I'm a pretty good lip reader, so I can understand most people, but this girl was about 4, and I presume she had a lisp, which made me a little slow to decipher her words. Excuse me, can I pet your doggy? Now, I'm a sucker for a cute face, and although you aren't supposed to let people distract service dog, I wasn't in a rush, and the pout the girl gave me when it took me a while to respond was heartbreaking. I'm basically melted butter at this point. Okay, but only for a little bit. She's working and we can't distract her. I smiled at her as her face lit up. She reached over to rub Piper's head. She started being all cute by talking to Piper. I could make out things like, you are a nice doggy. I like you, and your coat is pretty. Oh. She was talking about Piper's service vest, so we sat around in the grass for a little while, and the girl asked me things about my dog until, can we play fetch? Sorry, sweetheart, but Piper has to stay with me so that she can look after me. The girl asked why, and I explained that my ears didn't work, and she had accepted that. So at this point, I decided that I should probably head home, and as I've been out for a while, as I turned to leave, entitled mother started tapping my shoulder. Can I help you? And entitled mom says, you need to let my daughter play with your dog. Like, I tried to explain to the mother that I am deaf and that Piper is my service dog, so I can't let her do that. At this point, entitled mom gets mad. Fine, I'll give you $50 for him. Get a new dog. You can understand me. Just fine, so you're obviously not deaf, just a retard. Wow! Wow, you do not say that to people. I'm glad I stopped mid-sentence right there. Jesus, Martha. I was shocked. This woman wanted to take Piper? What? I'm sorry, but I can't do that. I need Piper. You tell Mom, I'll give you $100 for her. That's pretty much what it costs to look after her for a month, so no thank you. At this point, I just turn and leave, but the entitled mother follows and grabs Piper's harness. I wasn't holding on to it at the time, and Piper's very protective and is rather confused, so she starts growling at the woman. That's okay. Once he's neutered and that aggression will fade. What the F, lady? There's a 4-year-old. Come on, I'm not actually going to swear, dude. Give me my dog back. She's not even a boy and has already had a... Huh? What? I can't even say that. At this point, a man walks past with his own dog, Pete, friendly passerby. Is everything okay? No, this Brad is trying to steal my daughter's service dog. At this point, I'm facing away from the passerby, and he must ask after me, because eventually he comes around my side, and his eyes land on my hearing aids. Also, this kid is trying to get her mom to give Piper back. Given your daughter is trying to return the dog, and this man is obviously deaf, I think you better return the dog. Fine, but get ready to hear from my lawyers. Seriously? Here? EM storms off, leaving Piper at my feet, so we all go our separate ways after that. I thank the man for his help. Sorry this was kind of long, but people like that really get on my nerves. Man, that's messed up, dude. That's messed up. What? You should be ashamed of not taking my feelings into consideration. I'm sorry if there are any mistakes. English is not my first language. So I posted this on r/am I the a-hole and found out that my mom might be an entitled parent, I guess. Anyways, my friends told me that people on this subreddit might like the story, so I'm cross-posting it. I always had a lot of self-esteem issues, so about 2 months ago I started dieting. Unfortunately, the diet ended up bringing back an eating disorder I had a long time ago, and I had to stop for the sake of my own health. My mom was not very happy with this, and kept insisting that I should keep doing it. I keep telling her that I was uncomfortable with all the nagging, so she gave up trying to convince me after some time. This was until a week before her best friend's birthday party. She was invited about a week ago beforehand and asked me if I wanted to go with her. I'm not a big fan of socializing, but I decided to go with her to the party because she told me she would be happy if I tagged. Everything started after I agreed to attend the party. She asked me if I could start the diet again, just so I would look pretty in a dress. I told her that I'd rather not, and explained that it made me really uncomfortable, and that if I ended up not losing any weight, it would be very bad for my self-esteem. She told me it was okay, and that she understood that I didn't want to do it. She was a little petty about it, but nothing that bad. Oh boy, about 3 days before the birthday party, my mom arrived home with a bag full of dresses for me to try on. When I opened the bag, I noticed that almost all the dresses were about 3 sizes smaller than mine, and told her that she must have gotten them wrong. She then proceeded to tell me that I shouldn't worry about that, and if what we picked didn't fit, I'd still have time to get dinner. I told her that I already decided that I wanted to wear what I wanted to wear to the party, and she didn't need to buy anything new. She became angry and told me that she didn't want her daughter to go around looking like a hobo. Wow. The dress I chose was almost new and almost one of my favorites. I decided to try the dresses on just to make her happy. It couldn't be that bad, right? Oh boy, was I wrong. I was forced to try on every single dress in the bag and had to stand in front of a huge mirror staring at myself while I heard my mom making comments about my weight. Things like, you look You would look so much better, prettier if you lost weight. And I don't understand why you have to eat. Okay, so what the hell? All the time. Such a pretty girl. She went on about it for some time, but I ended up exploding. It is a very sensitive topic for me, and I had asked her to stop a lot of times when I wasn't able to take it, and told her that I wasn't feeling so good about the party and didn't want to go anymore because she made me uncomfortable with all of her BS. She started to freak out. She told me that I was ruining her weekend and her friend's birthday party, and that I should be ashamed of myself for not taking her feelings into consideration. She also said that all she wanted was a pretty daughter and that I was ruining everything for her. And then she said that she wouldn't have had a daughter if she knew she would have to deal with a... Wow! Guess I don't have to say that I ended up deciding not to go to the party after that. My mom tells me that all she wanted was a pretty daughter and that I was ruining everything for her because I was a pig. When I tell her that I'm done with her BS, she snaps at me, saying that I should take her feelings into consideration. Handyman, I could not agree more. Hashtag rated r/raised by narcissists. Jeez. Need another cough drop. And my fan. Oh, this I gotta read. Entitled kid thinks he's entitled to my Game Boy Advanced. This happened today, and I'm honestly really surprised. I never thought it would happen to me, but I assume it had to happen eventually, right? Recently, I've been going to the gym at my town every other day, usually only for an hour or two. Whenever I get tired and need to take a break, I sit on one of the benches at the gym provides and play on my Game Boy Advanced SP for a little bit, just so I can catch my breath. Just today, I was on the treadmill for around an hour straight and was sweating pretty badly. So I decided to take a break and sit on the bench and get into some Pokemon Crystal. Right now, I have been in the middle of a Nuzlocke? I don't know. So I wanted to grind my Pokemon for around 10 minutes before stopping and getting back to the treadmill. Here's where the story starts. Cue entitled mom and her little spawn. It's... Wow. Entitled kid. EM went to the whiteboard, signed her name in, and got on one of the machines. Nothing bad. EK was clearly dragged along with his mom, and he sat next to me with some type of tablet playing Clash of Clans. I paid no mind to this until I see him cry out and see that his tablet had run out of battery. Probably forgot to charge it, but I didn't really care. EK sets his tablet down and starts bugging his mom and pointing at me. I swallow and start to save, as I didn't want the entitled mom to see my Game Boy Advance and get any ideas, but it was too late. She started to walk to me, EK, and tell, listen, could you give EK your game? He's bored and I want to exercise and let him bother me. No, this is my game and I don't want him to break it. Mommy, make him give it to me. Come on, give him the game. He's bored, and you're too old to be playing games anyway. You need to get a job. The way I spend my free time is none of your business. I already have a job. Please leave me alone. At this point, EM completely loses it, and so does her little waste of... I'm not even going to say that word, because I think you all know what that means. Everyone turns their heads towards us and this little spectre. How dare you talk to me that way, you piece of crap? Give him the game now. She lunges out at me and tries to snatch my Game Boy Advance from me. Game Boy Advance from my hands. Out of instinct, I slide down the bench, and she smashes. Her face into the wall behind the bench. EK is in hysterics, screaming, "Give me the game now, 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 now!" I step back and yell at EM. What the F is wrong with you? You're trying to steal my Game Boy Advance that I paid money for? Now leave me the F alone. EM goes into ballistic mode and starts screaming, he stole my son's game! At this point, one of the Jim and Blade stands between me and her. Jim and Blade, that is not your son's game. I've seen him come in here for the past couple of weeks. He's always had that. Please leave. You are no longer welcome here. EM angrily picks up her stuff and leaves with the EK still reaching out to the Game Boy Advance in my hands. I'm not going to bring my Game Boy Advance to the gym anymore. That reminds me of a story that happened to me, which I did on my last video. So, I was going to the park one day to cool off after I had gotten home from school. And I was over, I think it was like my old middle school or whatever, elementary school. I'm sitting there on the swings playing my Pokemon, was it Pearl, I think? On my DS. This little kid comes up to me and asks if I can play the game. I tell him no because my game's dying and I need to go home and charge it. He's okay with this. He was a really nice kid. His mom, on the other hand, was the entitled B word. Basically said, well, my son deserves to play. You've been playing on that for like 3 hours. Like, lady, I literally just got here. He's like, I don't care, just let my son play your stupid game. I'm like, no, it's my fucking game, lady. Back off. At this point, she tried to lunge for it. I move out of the way. She lands in the ground with a face full of dirt. Meanwhile, the kid and I are trying not to freaking laugh. Get on my bike. As I said, it was nice to meet the kid. Let's just say his name was Jeff. And dude, I swear to God, if there's comments saying, my name's Jeff, I'm gonna lose it. But anyways, so as I'm getting ready to leave, the entitled mother gets up, takes her kid to their car, and literally follows me. Now, meanwhile, I'm panicking, thinking like, oh crap. Go, go, go. I start to hightail it back home. She tries to run me off the road with her car. And I'm sitting here thinking like, what the f- is this lady doing? What the heck? And I get onto the sidewalk. I think it's the left-hand side where my grandparents' house was. I managed to have the garage remote in my hand, so I quickly hit the button on the inside of my pants pocket. The garage door opens. Me and my bike are both in there. I get off and shut the door. Meanwhile, this entitled mother pulls up on the neighbor's driveway and starts banging on our garage, saying to give her son the game. And then, now about 3 minutes later, Grandma comes home. And, true story, by the way. Grandma, if you're watching this, you probably don't remember this, but, I think your exact words were, Grandma, were like, what the hell are you doing to my garage? Like, well, your little brat of a son or grandson wouldn't let my son play his stupid game. And they're like, well, maybe he had a good reason. Like, I don't care what his reason is. He should have just let my son play the game.
Medicine.
And, basically, my grandma tells me to open the garage. I'm actually first like, well, first she said, well, did you ask my grandson if your son could play his game? She's like, yes. Like, that's an outright lie. You demanded that I give my son your game. I told him no because my DS was dead. She's like, I don't care, just give me the damn game. Meanwhile, my grandma grabs her hand like, don't you dare touch my grandson. At this point, this lady wanted to hit her. I got involved like, stay away from my family. Meanwhile, I gave her the death glare. Like, you don't scare me. Tried to grab my DS. I pinned her up against the garage with her arms behind her back. Like, you want to try that again? Leave now! I yelled, top of my lungs in her ear. And she ran. Meanwhile, her son's laughing because her mom, or his mom, got owned by a 14-year-old. God, I wish my girl would stop texting me while I'm recording. But anyways, guys, I'll be right back. I gotta go grab something. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, hit the bell next to my subscribe button so that way you never miss a video. And that way you'll become part of hashtag Destroyer Nation and Notification Squad. And I will see you guys in the next video. Keep on rocking, Destroyer Nation. Peace out.
I'm crazy. What you gonna get that for me? We won't stop, got your feet both fly. You get to fly with me. I can take you down for a ride. I take you around my life. Jaywalking, crosswalking, lip locking with you. I know it, you know it.
Bye!